Hey, welcome to Cheaper Jeeper TV, the show that helps you get the most for your money so that you get the most for your Jeep. In last week's episode, we saw how to install the AEV 2-inch spacer lift in your driveway by yourself. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about how we go from these stock wheels to these babies. To learn more, stick around. I know that some of you have been waiting all week to see what the new wheels and tires were going to be, so without wasting any more time, let's have a look and see what they look like on the Jeep. So in case you didn't notice, my tire of choice was the GoodYear Wrangler Duratrac 315/70 R17. There's other tires out there with equally great reviews, but I like the aggressive look of the Duratracs, and the fact that they're Triple Mountain Snowflake rated is a bonus for me up here in Canada. And my rim of choice is the American Expedition Vehicles Savegre 2. I like the lightweight aluminum construction and the aggressive style. If you're interested in this or any other AEV products and you're in Southern Ontario, contact Dave Schneider at Wellington Motors as he's an AEV rep. Now I know for some of you that it's a matter of taste. Some of you might like them, some of you might have different tastes. That's okay, it's a free country. But feel free to comment in the comments section below to let us know what you think. So now let's discuss some of the qualities of these wheels and these tires. Well, for starters, when considering going to a larger tire, you could read on forums or find somebody in your Jeep club that could tell you what kind of size tire would fit with what type of lift you put in. However, your next decision is what size rim will you use. If you're using the lift and the larger tire for looks, you have more options, but if you weren't going to consider going off-road, I'd recommend you go with a smaller rim, and that would give you a larger sidewall. By doing this, it'll provide a softer ride when you are going off-road, and it'll give you more rubber between the trail and your rims. Also, by going with the larger diameter tire, it would impact your speedometer on your Jeep. That's where you would either have to go get it reprogrammed at the dealer, or if you got the AEV lift, they provide the ProCal for you. As you can see here, there's not much to it. You've got the handy guidebook, a length of wire, and then the ProCal unit itself. Now, the way to install this is a little bit complicated, and it warrants being a video all on its own, as there isn't a very good one on YouTube yet that shows you the information you need to see in detail. But I'll just go over it generally for now. Step 1 is to remove the glove box and take the end of the wire with the white plug and put it into any outlet in the green receptacle under the dash. Next, you would feed that wire behind the dash to be plugged into the OBD port, which is located behind this panel. To remove the panel, just pull it from the 6 pins that are behind. Then, when you gain access to the OBD plug, remove it from its mooring so that you can get access to the back, and then plug the ends of the ProCal wire into the back of the OBD port. And once that's done, put it back in its mooring and then sync it with the ProCal according to the guidebook. With the ProCal synced to the Jeep, from within the equalizer window of your Uconnect system, you're able to program in whatever diameter tire you've installed. There are other things that you could change, like your gear ratios if you were to change the gears in your Jeep, but one thing that I did change is the minimum threshold for the air pressure alarm for the TPMS sensors, because with larger tires, you don't inflate them to the same pressure you would with your stock tires. There is a chalk test to help determine that, and that'll have to be another video as well. You'd also have to choose the width of your tire, and you would have to pick that which suits your driving environment.
I chose to go with a little wider tire, and the offset of the rim pushes it out a little bit beyond the wheel well, which gives the Jeep a wider stance to support handling. With all that being said, I am very pleased to report that with the AEV 2-inch lift, which maintains the dampening rate of the stock shocks and the spring rate of the stock springs, that when I'm in the city, I could hardly feel any difference at all other than noticing a little bit more height. Mind you, when I am going at higher speed and on the highway, I do feel the effects of the higher sidewall in the tires, in that the Jeep doesn't feel as tight when going at speed. But all in all, I am very pleased with the build. At the time of recording, the spare tire relocation bracket hadn't arrived, so I'll have to make that another video. Well, I hope you found that interesting. Now let's move on to our tips segment. Now for some cheaper Jeeper tips.
So in this week's tip segment, I want to talk a little bit about something that I should have mentioned last week as a tip. And that is, after you do a lift and drive a couple hundred miles or kilometers, you should make sure to go back under the Jeep and re-torque all of the bolts that you worked on. And that would just make sure that everything's been done properly. I myself did take it to a garage to get the lower control arms torqued to 190 foot-pounds. I was close though. Okay, now what can I say as cheaper Jeeper TV to justify spending the kind of money you have to spend to get into some larger tires and some new rims? Well, to be honest, in our subscriber tip, there's a very good tip there on one way to do it. But if you're predisposed to getting some larger tires and some new rims, the only thing I could say is perhaps find them when they're on a Black Friday sale, or as I did at the end of the winter, the retailer that was selling these tires had a 25% off sale on their winter tires. Now, the Duratracs are 3 Mountain Snowflake rated, so they're also categorized as winter tires. So the retailer that was selling them had a spring blowout sale where they were wanting to move their winter tires, and so I took advantage of that sale. So that's a tip that I guess I can share with you. And you would think that perhaps they were moving old stock, but when I looked at the date on the tires, these tires were manufactured in February of 2021, and we're now in April of 2021. So they must have just got made and shipped over. And now let's move on to our subscriber tip.
And now for subscribers tips. This week's subscriber tip comes from last week's video on the DIY AEV 2-inch lift. Hey Cheaper Jeeper TV, quick tip. If you have a Sport Sahara with stock 31-inch tires, you can buy 33-inch tires for a quick 1.5-inch lift. People often sell stock Rubicon 33-inch tires really cheap on local boards, so you can find a good deal. I got 5 KO2 33-inch tires and 5 nice rims for just $800. Really helped my off-road ability. Signed, MyBluJL.
Hey, thank you, MyBluJL. That's a fabulous tip, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to go down that road. And if you wanted to see some more from MyBluJL, he has a very good YouTube channel that you may want to check out, and I'll put a link in the description section of this video. That's it for this week's episode of Cheaper Jeeper TV. I hope that you found it interesting, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing the lift series. As for the spare tire relocation bracket, that'll have to be another video because I haven't received it yet. I'm Dino for Cheaper Jeeper TV. Till the next time, be well, stay safe, and take care.